Okay, let's take a look at your PowerPoint design. So at a glance, it looks like you're going to use a PowerPoint throughout your teaching. Not necessarily for presenting information, but for outline. So I'll focus on the presentation part for my review. So you are going to use this slide as a visual aid to do some little activity here. Okay, so when you're actually demonstrating the violation of redundancy principle, when I think about what exactly you need as a visual aid at this point, I think you just need a script. You don't need this shown on the screen. I think it's better off without it. So my suggestion would be separating this slide into two parts and do something like this instead of showing this all at once. One of the things you're trying to do is to use a visual aid more dynamically to go with the flow of your presentation. So this way, when you are talking about the topic you're getting into, you are supplementing it with the keyword obeying the redundancy principle. And I believe this will sort of help your students mentally prepare to get into the topic. Once you know that they are all focused, now you can actually get into the actual activity, and you show this and you read it on this slide. You get 100% focus from students on this script, as opposed to attention can be a little divided to the topic title and the script. The text size for the script is going to be small because it has less space available because of the title. Either way, I would say it's a little improvement in terms of students' focus and attention and how they allocate their limited resources to the information you're presenting. From this, it's a little hard to tell what exactly you're going to do. You say explain what exactly it is. When you're explaining, I want to see lots of graphics. Yes, verbal explanation would be the main thing to explain, but you need to find out for what part you should be using graphics and use the graphics strategically. So I don't think this is going to be just one single slide. I think you laid a structure or outline for your presentation or teaching pretty well. So you can follow these outline in this order. And for each section, like what is it section, and thesis section, and research section, and activity section or practice section. You'll be using different technology tools, and maybe for this you're not really using the PowerPoint anymore, but for this part you might be using a lot of visual aid using PowerPoint. So for each section, like psychological aspect, research, and thesis, and here, understand that you most likely be using lots of visuals, and you can't present them all on the same slide. That's not going to be a visual aid. It's not going to be dynamic. It's not going to go with the flow of your presentation anymore that way. And for this one, I think you should present in some examples again, or doing some fun test, just like you did with disobeying the redundancy principle. This would be kind of interesting to get feedback from students about what exactly students pay more attention to. Did you pay attention to the text? Did you pay attention to the presenter? You could actually take some poll. You can either poll everywhere, or you could actually put all the information into Nearpod. That way, polling or stats is going to be part of the presentation tool. Nearpod supports slides, presentation, slideshow, and quiz, poll, and so on, all within the program, software program application. So that could work really well if you transfer the content to Nearpod. So now I see that this is just an outline for what you're going to talk about. So you are transitioning from the introduction part to a little more in-depth content, psychological aspects, easy to apply and important to education media. And I see them here. So this is okay. I guess to get the final 1 point for professional looking layout and typology could be a little better. And I don't know if you want to call it thesis, but this is going to be a good, it's like a pre-teaching, and also, it tells you what you're going to be doing. So it kind of helps students create a mental frame for the overall presentation. But I will change the font size. This is a little too small. There's lots of space. And I would normally go, judging from the distance between the lab monitor and the students sitting, I would say 36 is minimum. Your student's going to be sitting about 7 to 20 feet away from the main monitor in a classroom, a lab. I have a pretty good eyesight, but still kind of found that 36 is the minimum font size you want to go with for optimum presentation experience. 30 is way too small, and if possible, I would go even higher. And it fits. That means it's okay to use 48 as long as it fits nicely. I think you're not just presenting 3 articles, but you're actually presenting the data, not the sources. So if you're presenting the data, use graphics. Studies are associated with data, concrete numbers, and sometimes study tools that are highly graphic. So you could show how the studies were conducted and what data were obtained. You can use a table, chart, graph. I would go with a graph rather than a table, unless table makes more sense. Your own class study and survey. So I guess you'll be doing some survey in a class and you're showing the results here. And according to your outline, it sounds like you'll be doing some sort of small experiment, and it's a really good idea. We only have 30 minutes, but if it's short enough, you may be able to do it. And if you do it, it's really great. You don't need to be constrained by the use of PowerPoint to do this activity. At the same time, it's a group teaching, so you could do the experiment, small group survey or experiment earlier, and you get the results, data from the experiment. While you're doing the experiment or activity, someone in your group could be adding the data to this slide. Then, do it really fast. Then when the time comes for presenting the data or results of the experiment, when this time comes, you show this slide again, and show the results. That will be so dynamic. The flow will be so great. It's possible only because it's a group teaching. If you're doing it alone, you won't be able to do it. But because it's a group teaching, I think it's a group addition to the whole collaborative teaching idea. And for this, if you're getting off the smartboard, you might want to just put a link to your smart notebook file. And when you make a link, it's nice to have a graphic link so that you show the screenshot of your smartboard activity. Then so people kind of know that, we are using smartboard now. We all know what smartboard looks like, so we realize that, this is going to be smartboard. Okay, so we are mentally prepared. We can shift our gear. It's going to be a discussion, so this is just like a transition slide, and so that's what you're going to be doing. So the question can be general, but you might want to have a backup question to get more specific responses from students if they're struggling with the responses, because the question itself is kind of broad and general. And for the final part, using a commercial video clip for the conclusion, it's okay. It's really hard to tell, how whoever posted the video obtained the commercial clip legally or not. And if they obtained it legally, no problem. But there's a chance that the person who posted the video did it illegally, but there's no way for you to tell. To be 100% sure, you want to ask them, how did you get it? Is it yours? You have a right for the video. And all this is important. It's when you are creating a publication or a multimedia product that goes out of classroom. If you plan to show this PowerPoint presentation in the future as part of your portfolio, for example, you might want to be a little more careful about who owns the right. But for this class project, I wouldn't think referencing to a link is not going to be a problem. taking the content and making the permanent part of your product is going to be a problem, but linking to it is okay. Taking it down or not, it's not up to you, up to the who posted it. So you are much safer in this scenario. So yeah, go ahead and do it. So this outline is done really well, and I know this is just an outline, so each section needs to be expanded to be a visual aid, but now you know what to do, so good luck.